Today, I'm going to show you guys how to make wonky drum beats just like this. Okay, so when making a wonky drum beat from scratch, I usually like to first lay down the kick and the snare, and I'll show you just how I do that. Alright, as you can tell, the drum beat doesn't sound very wonky yet, and that's because to make it feel wonky, you need to move some of the drum samples a little bit before or after where you might expect them. So one of the first things I like to do is move the snare just like a little bit ahead of when you might expect it. And you can hear that already creates a little bit of wonkiness. And I might move around a few of these kick samples too. So let me experiment with that and see if I could find something I like. So maybe I'll move this one a little bit later. And it's also a good idea to turn on your metronome so you can really hear just how wonky you might be making the drum beat. Okay, so here we have a little bit of a more wonky drum groove. So yeah, you can tell that sounds a lot wonkier already. Now that we've laid down our kick and snare groove, I'm gonna add some percussion and hi-hat samples, and hopefully that'll bring together this wonky drum beat. Alright, so one trick I like to use for hi-hats is to delay them just a little bit so that they come like right after the kick, basically. And this creates like a very wonky groove. And then another trick I like to use is not to have them completely evenly spaced, so I might move this one a little closer to the snare, and then this one I'll move a little bit closer as well, and then I'll just duplicate this pattern again. I'm really just having the hi-hats complement the kick and snare groove. Since the snare's moved back a little bit, I have this hi-hat moved back a little bit, but then when it starts off, I have the hi-hat moved forward a little bit, and it really just complements that wonky groove that I already have going with the kick and the snare. So I'm gonna add a few more percussion samples and see what I can do with this beat. So I've taken some time and added a bunch of percussion. Really, to do this, I just scrolled through a bunch of different random sample packs and picked out percussion sounds that I really liked, and then I placed them in and just played the drum loop back and just moved them around into places where I felt like it enhanced the groove. Like, test out each sample, moving it a little bit before you might expect it or a little bit after, and see what gives you the type of groove that you want. Everything sounds like a little bit off, a little bit out of place, maybe a little bit delayed, but that's really what creates that wonky groove. At this point, the groove was getting a little bit messy. So what I decided to do is add some rides and hi-hats and open hi-hats, basically to just solidify the groove. So I'll show you what I added. So when I play the whole thing, I guess I'll just make like a quick demo track out of this drum beat, just so that you could hear what kind of context a wonky drum beat like this can be used in. Alright guys, I hope you found this tutorial useful, and here's the final beat.